Hello, Anna Sabramowitz here, and today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite activities. Now, as an instructional designer, I have a bunch of things in my toolbox, little activities and models that I pull out when I want to meet a certain objective or I want to help my learners achieve a specific goal. And there's an activity that I go to almost in every single project. I pull this one out because it's so versatile and there's so many applications. So, as we work through this activity, and I'm going to do it on the whiteboard for you because as far as I'm concerned, if it doesn't work in a whiteboard, it won't work in e-learning. So when you get that going and you think about it, I want you to think about how you would use this activity, if there's a way you can apply it, and post that in the comments. So let's get to it. So the activity, it doesn't have a specific name, it's a model. This one I'm going to call Who's Giving You the Right Perspective. So let's say your goal is to train somebody on how to react to a rude customer, right? So let's say we start off this question with a scenario. And Jane is working at the front desk of a retail store, and she encounters a rude customer, and the person says something to her that would, let's say in this environment, be very detrimental if you didn't handle it well, if Jane didn't handle it well. And so what happens is I, as the person who's being trained, Jane, on customer service, now get perspectives from my peers on how I should handle this situation. So peer number one says, well, this person was obviously rude, so you should react this way. So this is peer one, peer two, peer three, and maybe here we'll put the boss. Anyways, what happens here is that the person is able to consider that scenario, and then they get advice from other people on how to handle the situation. What's awesome about this is that you can, and usually the way I set this up is more than one person is correct. And what's awesome is that they're explaining the situation in a way that's using natural language. They're saying, Jane would say this, or, you should consider it this way. This person was, everything's said in a way that somebody would think it. And also what you're able to do here is address any of the bad attitudes or the bad habits that sometimes people have when they're faced with a difficult situation. So you can address those right away, but also it gives you the opportunity as a learner to experience them, think about them, and consider that there's more than one correct way to address an answer or to address a situation. So that's one of the ways that I use it. Another way that you could be like, it could be very simple here, is who's giving me the right definition? So really, here, instead of having a scenario, I could have a statement. And the statement could be something in our ethics policy. And the ethics policy where I'm trying to teach people to maybe apply the ethics policy or what it means to somebody on the job, I could say, here's the ethics policy, how does this apply to you on the job? And my coworker could say, well, what it really means is that you shouldn't have inappropriate material on your computer. Or what it really means is that you, as long as nobody sees it, you can you can give gifts inappropriate or gifts that are over this amount. As long as nobody bothers to check, you can give gifts over this amount to your client. So what you're able to do is address all those little misconceptions that people have, and all they're doing is we're taking something that's very abstract like ethics, which is in legalese, and having people explain it in natural language, and now all of a sudden your learner gets to think about it in a different way and hopefully remember it a little bit better because they've heard it through said through the words of somebody else, one of their peers, one of their co-workers, and to consider it. And also, like I said, here you'd have more than one interpretation that's correct for this particular question. So basically what we're doing is we're asking our learners to consider something from different points of view. We're asking them to think about it and understand it a little bit better because it's explained to them in a natural way. So that's one of the challenges, is all of a sudden having your subject matter expert or whoever you're working with just say it in the way that you would explain it to maybe somebody who's not even a part of the business. And because that's who a lot of our learners are. They're not ingrained in that business, and now they get a chance to explore it a little bit differently. So that's one of the things that I really enjoy about this, because you can address a lot of difficulties that are in the business, but they're not really said out loud. So how would you use this activity in your own workplace? I'd love to see how maybe there's a perspective, or there's a way for you to see how a term could be explained, or you can come up with your very own novel way of using this that I can then add to my toolbox. Post that in the comments or email me directly, Anna@eLearnerEngaged. And if you have an awesome question, then I'd love to deconstruct it, and then we can share it with the rest of the world. So post it in the comments. Tell me if you liked it. Tell me if this was useful, applicable, and I will see you next time.